Hi, it's Michelle Last here. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking you through the gift box punch board from Stampin' Up. It's a new product that's been introduced in the new seasonal catalogue, and it's a fantastic way to make boxes just with one punch board with all the scores and with basically a 6" by 6" piece of paper up to a 12" by 12" piece of paper, and there's all different sorts of box shapes and it depends on the size of the paper you use and also the where you cut and score. So if I put them in order, that might help you. So that is the first set of boxes that I want to show you. I just want to point it out to you in the Stampin' Up seasonal catalogue. The gift box punch board is just here and it's $17.95, but I want to draw your attention here to the Under the Tree Speciality Designer Series paper. It's £11.50. You get 12 sheets, but it's super heavyweight, real cardstock weight. It's much thicker than the normal cardstock, and that's what I'm going to be using today to make my boxes. So what you want to do is, I'm just going to show you around the gift box punch board. You've got these measurements here, so you've got XL, L, medium and small, and you've got the little grooves and the score lines to guide you just here. Okay, and then you've also got the score lines here which coordinate small, medium, large and extra large, and then you have this right angle score line here. The brilliant thing is that folds out, so if you have a longer piece of card, you actually can score a full 12" width of card, and you've also got the score line here, and you've got the scoring tool that slots in here, and then you've got a little section here which punches out the little like a little S shape. Let me just open this up for you. It's very snug there. It punches out that little shape there so that the top of the box will nest in together like that. So if I just show you, that one's like that. That one is the same, so you can decide which one you want to do. And this is your template folded out with the sections folded inside of the box. They can be stuck against the edge of the box, or they can be just left so that it pops out nice and flat. So what you need to do is, I'm going to show you my two favourite size boxes. This is one of my favourites. I've written on the bottom. So it's a 10" by 10" sheet of paper, and we're scoring along the medium and the XL lines. Now I'll show you what that means. So if you look here, there's inches and there's centimetres. The inch chart will tell you how big your paper size needs to be. I've stuck with the inches for today just because it's easier. So it will tell you how big your paper size needs to be. It will tell you the box size, and it will tell you your start line and your diagonal line. So the one that I liked is 10" by 10", and it's medium and XL. So it's 10" by 10", and it's medium and XL. So basically what that means is I'll use this medium score, this XL score, and then score at the right angle. Now I'm going to talk you through that. So the first things first, I'm going to cut my piece of card to 10" by 10". Sorry, you can't see that on your monitor, but I can't fit it under my camera, so trust me when you can see that I'm cutting down the Under the Tree Speciality paper down to 10" by 10". Okay, which have just left me with some leftover scraps. They're double-sided and different pattern on either side. So now I've got my 10" by 10" piece of card. Now what I need to do, remember it was 10" by medium and XL. So what I do is I line up my piece of paper with the medium line. So let's get it ready. I find it easier to stand when I'm doing this. So just a couple of tips. If you hold it here, you might find your paper's coming away slightly from this nice straight line. So I found it easier to sort of support it here. Then what you're going to do is always try and punch first, because then you won't forget. You're going to do the right angle score. Whoops, sorry, it's because I've got my tripod in the way. Okay, and then you need to do the XL score. So we're doing medium and XL, remember? So we go down and meet up with that score line. Can you see just here? We're just meeting up with them. Then what we do is we rotate, go to the medium line again, punch, score, so you're now going to do the XL score down to the previously scored line just here and rotate, line it up with the medium line again, punch, the right angle scoring, and it'll feel like it's wrong. When I did this the first time, it just felt like it wasn't going to be a box and it was just some random score lines, but I promise you it'll all come together. And then we turn again, we line it up with the medium line, punch, do the right angle scoring, and then the XL scoring down to the score line. And what you'll find is you should kind of see if that shows up for you. Yeah, that should show up for you. The score line that you do actually will end up being the little inner sections of the box, okay? So now, as you can see your bit of paper, I've got a punch out on each side, but we do actually need, can you see this little V here? We do need these to be punched out. Now you can cut them out with scissors, but I just found it really easy to line it up. If I show you. Can you see I've got a score line here and a score line there. I'm just getting it central, like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to do that on all four edges, just to save cutting it out. You've got a machine that does it for you, and it means that it'll look the same. It's just the quickest way I found. So I'm going to punch all those out. So your piece of card will be like that on every edge. Now what you need to do is we need to go in this section. A little tip for that as well. You can hold your bit of card and hold it remotely. You see I've got my hand here, but you'll find it won't want to line up. So I found the best way is just to get your hand right on the little tab and push it in so that the straight edges meet up with the straight edges of here. Punch it, turn it, punch it, turn it, punch it, turn it, make sure they meet up. And that is our first box done. So I'm just going to show you what you need to do is you need to use your bone folder, and you're going to fold in your score lines. I'm just reinforcing the large score lines. I'm not doing all the edge ones. I'm just doing the top flap, and then, and I'm really only doing this part of the box. I'm not worrying too much about this part, but you do, if you spend more time doing the scoring, you will get a better result in a box that folds really nicely. But I'm hurrying along for you here today. And I actually made, how many did I make? 4, 8, 12, 15 of these boxes in about an hour last night. I made every size. I used more than one pack of the Under the Tree Speciality. But it's so sturdy, it makes a beautiful box. So what you do is you just push that diagonal score line in, like that, and you'll find that the box just pulls in together, like so. Then what you do is you get the two little attachments to stick together, and you get these ones. The last ones are just a bit more tricky, it takes a bit of squeezing. And then you've got this perfectly cut and scored box that just looks lovely. And then when you add a gift tag and a bit of ribbon, you end up with a nice tall box. Can you see we've got a small and a small and a medium and a small and a large. They were the 3 boxes that I just showed you. These 3 boxes are the small, 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 medium, small, large. Then we're going to move on to the 4 medium ones. I'll zoom back in on that for you now. So we're going medium, small, medium, 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 large, medium, XL. And they are these 4, which I now zoom back out for you. So they're these 4 boxes. they'll look like this. So they're taller, slightly taller, and then you can see I've got the measurements underneath in different pieces of card, and I've just made this one for you. Okay, then you can see that we've got the large measurement now. So if you look, we've got large, small, large medium, large large, large XL, and this is going to make you these 4 boxes. Can't actually fit them on the screen, okay, depending on the size of paper that you use. Okay, now I'm going to show you how I made this box in a second, and then if you just look at my gift box punch board again, you'll see the last 4 are XL and small, XL and medium, XL and large, and XL and XL with the paper sizes needed. And for that you're going to end up with 4 boxes, slightly larger and slightly deeper. And so you can get a real variety of box sizes here, which I just think this makes the punch board so versatile. I'm sure there's lots of other things you can do with it, but just for making boxes at Christmas, if you use this paper, you won't need to use wrapping paper. It's all ready to go. And know that on each box, let's find one for you, you have a coordinating pattern on the inside. So if you don't like one pattern, you can use the other pattern on the inside and create the look that you want to create. So it's a lovely way to coordinate your Christmas. So I'd absolutely recommend the Under the Tree cardstock. It was so much nicer than it looks in the book. So to make this box here, we need an 8 by 8 inch piece of card, and we're going to score at the L and the S. Okay, so 8 inch by 8 inch, and I'm going to do it again from you for scratch so that you can see exactly how long it takes to make each box and how you're never going to be stuck for boxes ever again. So 8 inch by 8 inch. Okay, so we're going to line it up with the L, and we're going to score at the S. Okay, so 8 inch by 8 inch, starting with the large, and then the diagonal is the short one. So do you remember I said line it up, punch, do your right angle score, so your sort of L shape, if that's a visual clue for you, and then we're going to do the small diagonal, and we're going to meet up with this score line just here. Bring it down a fraction so you can see. I'm going to turn it around again, I'm going to line it up with the L for large, punch, the right angle L score, and then the small diagonal to meet up with the score line. Okay, and I'm going to turn it around again, punch, right angled L shape, and then the diagonal like so. Okay, and then last one, line it up with the large, right angled L shape, and the small diagonal line down into the crease. Now I'm going to look for my little triangles, line it up, and punch those out, save cutting. I would recommend you stand when you use the punch board. It is quite hard to press, so just standing gives me a little bit of extra oomph, and I use this part of my thumb here just because it doesn't hurt when I do that. So then I'm holding it in again, holding it with my finger, making sure it's butted up to both edges, and punch. Now I'm just going to reinforce my creases. then I'm going to start by folding in, and by the time you've got to the third one, the fourth one will just naturally fold in. And then you're going to just get the little hooks, get the inside of the box closed, and then get the same on the last one, and there's your box. Finished, completely made, ready to wrap, seal. You can present your box that way if you prefer, and so the opening is on the bottom. It doesn't really make it stand proud if you've scored it really well. So that's the same box size here, and I've just wrapped it with a bit of ribbon and added a tag. So that's the envelope punch board. It's £17.95. Please visit my shop to place an order, and I would really highly recommend that you add a pack of the speciality under the tree cardstock for use with your gift box punch board. So thanks for watching.